Hey, King Devin. Hi, Jody. Just gonna wait for some people to get in. Hey, King of Portals. Oi, bruv. What? Hey, Toast Gaming. Hey, Sophia. Oh, we already got enough people in to start the stream right away. Well, then again, it is late in the day, so I can't really say that that's unexpected. Uh, but anyways, yeah, we could pretty much get started right off the get-go. And I hope you guys have seen the recent community posts and everything regarding Casey Becker's story and all things like that. I'm on to Scream 3 with it. I didn't say it to anyone specifically on YouTube because it wasn't like totally important. Uh but I hope you guys also got the message that I'm not going to be doing the Dale movie because everything basically a series that goes past 27 parts I just shouldn't make into a movie because it takes godly amounts of time and I can't even register it. And it's too much space on my freaking computer. So any series from now on that goes over 27 parts or 28 with my What If Madison's Family Joined Rick, I'm just literally going to make it just in the playlist. And you guys can just check it out that way and consider it like that's the movie. Because it's really not that different. Yeah, but the Dale story, let's face it, I wasn't going to make anything short like that and everything like that. Hey, GMV, what if Joe and the Claimers played laser tag? No, that is way too silly. That is like a silly that cannot be expressed on the internet, basically. Let's try and keep it like at a good silly, but not too silly, because then I can't do it. That's the basic rule and format for what if ideas. Oh, so how excited are you guys for the finale for The Ones Who Live tomorrow? And that's going to be the last stream of that we do here on the channel. What if Carl stabbed that claimer that attacked him? Well, it wouldn't have changed too much overall, besides giving Carl a little bit more of an advantage. But it wouldn't really have made anything out of it. What if Daryl was gay? Yeah, I'm not really going to go into that kind of story. I just don't see Daryl being like that. No, Kevin from Home Alone is in The Walking Dead, but not in Saw. But I could do that. What if Kevin met... I'm just going to name it What If Kevin Met Jigsaw. They're more or less like two weird suggestions that cannot be like done on the internet. And I try to keep it as a good silly, so that way it's funny and we get a laugh out of it and it makes sense within the story format, you know? But something that's just too silly, I just don't really find worth doing on the internet. What if Queso was in the Atlantic? Who's Queso? Then I don't really think that I could fit that into a story. Probably just be like any normal human. He'd die. But we got one. What if Kevin Home Alone met Jigsaw? They're funnier and more better characters I could think to add. And we've already established that through talking and if you guys have seen the things that I've saved. Hold up. I feel like no, Sophia running away and getting lost in season 1, that's saved already. What if Otis decided not to go with Shane to the school? Well, I have Destiny little clicks with Maggie and Beth going, except I'm going to actually delve into the story deeper than Destiny's did. So technically, I granted your wish already. I'm just taking the nod from Destiny's and making it better. Hello, Tungalus. We got us a full boat here. That's nice. That's cool. We're all peaches and cream in here and all that good stuff. I still think that background for my channel is awesome, by the way. No cap. I've like never said that, but just, yeah, I said it that one time. Destiny's was lame with how it handled some stuff. That's why I'm saying, if it doesn't get DLC or a remake by the end of this year, I'm literally going to either... No, I ain't selling it, but I'm going to rate it lower on the scale. What if the Atlanta camp was attacked before Daryl got back from his hunt, but after Rick got back from the run where they left Merle behind? Then they probably ended up dying, to be completely frank with you. In that scenario, it's better off just letting it happen the way it happened. Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to mention this to all you guys. What series have I... Okay, I'm going to split this up in different parts for you guys, okay? What series that I've done already on the channel, not ones that I've either saved or plan to do, what series out of Marvel, Dragon Ball, The Walking Dead, Scream, and Lord of the Rings. Which one of those is your guys' top favorite? And then I'll talk onward about other stuff. I wanted to say this at the beginning, but I forgot. Walking Dead for Toast Gaming. Okay. I'll say Marvel. Okay, we got Marvel and Walking Dead. Okay, how about everybody else? Dale's RV broke down outside Terminus. No, they were a very good distance away from Terminus. That wouldn't be possible. Walking Dead and Marvel is also good. Okay, so that's 3. What about everybody else? What are your favorite franchises that I've done on the channel? Not ones that I plan to do or anything. I'm going to get there, but I just want to see what everybody has to say in order to do process of elimination, basically. All right, so we got the Toast Gaming said Walking Dead. King Devin said Marvel, and King Portos, you said The Walking Dead and Marvel. GMV, you're The Walking Dead. Okay, so getting a lot of The Walking Dead, which really doesn't surprise me. That would almost go to my What If Herschel's Family Was Crazy, which is already saved. So, yeah. The Walking Dead. That's brutal. All right, so we pretty much got everyone, maybe except like Tungless or maybe another dude, but anyways, I got that question out of the way. Now, what is your favorite stories on the channel? And since the Dale one's ending here, the middle of this coming week, we could properly, I don't think you guys will be able to make a full judgment on that till the finale. What is your favorite story that has been done on the channel? I know some of you already chose your picks, but I wanted to like an opinion from everybody. I know you're probably asking, "Oh, Nick, why are you doing this while we're freaking doing a Q&A?" Well, because I forgot, and that's just me. Would Glenn be into Maggie if she was crazy? I don't know. Maybe. What if Madison's family joined Rick? It's my favorite. Good to know. Good to know. My favorite story is, I think you meant Sophia joined Negan. So, King of Portals, the Dale story and the Sophia joining Negan story are your favorites? That's what you're saying? I named it differently now to What If Negan Saved Sophia. So it's a much different name. I named the movie different, the series different, And I also named the governor and Negan's story different. It's what if Negan saved the governor. And I also renamed a few other videos. Not too many. I love the idea of Otis finding an alive Sophia in the woods, trapping her in the barn with other terrified survivors. But what if Dale Survived is a runner-up? You'll definitely, like I said, especially by the finale, you guys will all most likely say that in the end, Dale's story is most likely going to be up there in the tops of like best stories I've done. Okay. So I think pretty much everyone answered that particular question. And now one more before we get back to the Q&A. What series that I have either spoiled or plan to cover or that I'm going to get back to are you most excited to see for the future of the channel? Ursul's family being crazy is already saved, by the way, Toast Gaming. Toast Gaming is all a facade. Just imagine the twist of Sophia being in the barn as a captive and Herschel's people being psychotic. I mean, with the Sophia and Carl crushing on each other in the future. I did make Sophia and Carl get into a relationship in What If Madison's family joined Rick, but I just only made Sophia survive to Alexandria and then sacrifice herself for Mika. Whether I'm going to do more Sophia and Carl, I have no idea yet. Until the story is put in front of me and I work with it, you guys will know then. But I can't tell you off the top of my head. Unless it's a project I'm obviously already on. But yeah, I just like to know, that's the only other thing that I want to know is like what series or what ifs or stuff that I'm doing for the future are you guys most excited to see? Because I talked about like what's your favorite story and like what I've done already, but just I'm trying to egg everything out so that way I know what you guys like. Because last thing I want to do is do a story that doesn't interest anybody, which so far hasn't happened. What if Morgan and Dwayne contacted Rick after the CDC? I have a what if similar to that already saved. What if Sophia had mental problems like Lizzie did? Interesting. Had Lizzie's I don't know if I should name it what if Sophia had Lizzie's illness or problems. I feel like illness is a little bit but that's the best name that I could think of. Sophia was in Herschel's well with the bloated walker. Then she'd probably just be a walker or like be close to dead. There'd be no point in putting her there. But that's 2 ideas so far. Shane argues with the group about getting... Yeah. And then with Lizzie, she'd have way less patience, probably. Or more, depending. Glenn got bit on the leg by the bloated walker and had to get amputated. I can't imagine Glenn with a prosthetic leg. Herschel is like the only dude that I could think to do that with. Or Dale from the comics, but that's like it. All right, we're back to the Q&A, by the way. I just wanted to get some of the questions out of the way for anyone concerned. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. What if Sophia survived and Carol became more like Alpha? No. Especially at the beginning, Carol wouldn't be like that. Carol was much better and more smarter than Alpha. If Glenn's body was buried at Alexandria, it wouldn't really make too much of a difference besides where he's buried. What if Shane... What if Shane began killing the group one by one at the CDC? There'd be no story then if he did that. We need Fear the Walking Dead reboot. I can't really think of a way that I would reboot Fear. The only reason that I'm quote-unquote rebooting The Walking Dead is making The Walking Dead a dream, Rick shooting the bridge, waking up in the hospital, and basically he knows everything up till that point. But he knows nothing about the Whisperers, the Commonwealth, the Reapers, or the CRM. So, yeah. Fear, I can't really do too much. Or make a situation like that. I have Dr. Jenner being a villain and CRM and a bunch of other things saved already. I think I could do something like that. Dr. Jenner. I'm going to name it, what if Dr. Jenner caught Carl and Sophia? Or kidnapped. I'll just go with captured. What the frick ever. I have Dexter getting show integrated and everything. And yeah. I have Dexter stuff and Oscar stuff already planned ahead. What if Ed assassinated Shane after getting beat up? Nah, Ed wouldn't be able to. He wasn't even able to fight back when Shane mercilessly beat him to the ground. And he couldn't even take on a walker. I'm going to be making a What If Ed Survived remake, and what if Carol died instead of Ed, but those are different. Charlie killed Nick way earlier on and was much like more justifiable about it than Dakota. I'm not going to make Charlie the same as Dakota. It'd be a complete ripoff. What Ed? Even though Charlie, Dakota, and Tracy are all technically alike in a lot of ways, it just doesn't. It feels too much like Dakota was the only crazy one. Nah, even Carol or something would be able to fight against Ed. It just doesn't add up for those three and just doesn't work as a story. But we got 3 so far, and we got plenty of time. Carl going missing instead of Sophia is already saved. Considering that Leon Bassett would just be an extra guy, and considering the National Guard was taken out easy, even if it was a sneak attack by the governor, an extra officer would just be like that, just an extra guy. What if Ed killed Carl? That's very out there. He would need a very good reason. What hospital? What if Ed killed Lori? Now that I could do. No, there are already too many cannibal groups and stuff like that. We got the Terminus Squad and then the Ferals, and then you guys wanted me to make like several other cannibal groups, and that's just too much of a repeat. Too many of the same group just gets tiring. Grimace, really? Yeah. I'm gonna clean my glasses while we're talking here. I wanted to wait till after, but it's just driving me insane. It's been like a few weeks build up. Try to make sure that I have to clean them like as least as possible. Are you kidding me right now? What if the grim? Oh my god! You know, you just gave me two ideas now. You gave me two ideas. What if the Grimace Shake started The Walking Dead? And something that I had thought about, and I guarantee you every single person thought about whenever it happened, what if COVID started the apocalypse? Not The Walking Dead, just the frickin' apocalypse. If Morgan got bit, there'd be no point in bringing him back from craziness, and Morgan was key in a lot of aspects, so that literally makes no sense to kill him like that. And if I tried to replace him, I could, in theory, maybe make what if Eastman, what if Morgan, I could do like a thing, like what if Merle lived instead of Daryl, which I'm going to be doing here, which I already teased. I could do that with Morgan and Eastman, where Morgan dies instead of Eastman. That I could do. It was thanks to the Grimace idea, King Devin, that got me to think about that. Like, who didn't think that the freaking COVID was going to start the apocalypse? Let's be real here. Yeah, Jack Sparrow and The Walking Dead is saved. As for Merle training with Eastman, I believe that's saved too. What if Rick never went back to save Merle? Well, they had to go back for the guns, so they were going to go back anyway. And Daryl wouldn't have allowed him to not go back. So, is he still writing this frickin' novel? I already have What If Morgan Got Bit saved as a separate what if, but that's his comic style. And he got his arm cut off in the comics, so it truly is comic style, and that's the point. So that's saved. What if the governor met Eastman? That, I believe, is saved too. You don't have to go that deep into it, man. What if Daryl and Carol were kidnapped by Merle? Well, Carol had just gotten back with the group around that time, and Daryl wouldn't have wanted her to go out. So honestly, that doesn't make any sense for that to happen. Glenn and Maggie in that situation are the best two to go. Oh, that is like thousands times better. That's like weeks of buildup that I had to freaking clean just now. It's much clearer now. Merle joining the CRM is saved. and Gabriel were kidnapped by the CRM. And that doesn't really work. Not with Maze. That was his name. Not with Maze. Doesn't work like that. We got 7 ideas, and we still got over half an hour. So, all things considered, we're pretty good. Yeah. Rick meeting the claimers early is already saved. It's just, I don't think going to be just like that, but similar, kind of. So we actually got a real life story in the mix. Haven't got many of those in freaking store Q&As. Usually I just thought of them myself. But since I spoiled that I'm going to be doing those, yeah, we're definitely going to have to think of more of those, even though I do got plenty down. I'm just saying. What if Owen met the Whisperers and Merle met the Whisperers are both saved? That would be very convoluted. World War III. I don't know why I didn't think of making something like that. World War III. How about World War V? See. We're going to talk about World War V for a second. There. Whisperers Cannibals would just be a rerun. Abraham Lincoln's Walker, again, too convoluted. But I hope you guys like the World War V thing. Epstein? The frick is Epstein Island? How would The Walking Dead be able to take place on one island? It's got to take place in the whole world to make it The Walking Dead. Who is the frick is Jar Jar Binks? Who are these people? You mentioned like 30 people in the stream that I have no the frick idea who they are. How do I not know? Because never mind. I don't watch Star Wars. I got into it a tiny bit. The only parts that interest me about it is Darth Vader, and literally that's probably it. Andrew Tate. That name sounds familiar. Axel and Prisoners Being Crazy is already saved. Yeah, I barely know anything about him. That's going to be like the only Star Wars what if that you're ever going to see on the channel. And I really don't feel like doing it because it would just be a one off. If I'm going to do a franchise, I want to do like the whole thing. How about we spice up the variety? Dragon Ball, Lord of the Rings, Scream, Saw, Pokemon. Like, spice up the ideas. Let's even crossover ideas. Again, we can do The Walking Dead a lot more now since we're splitting up the genres, but still, want to recommend new stuff once in a while. If the Cold War never happened. I mean, I never looked into the Cold War too much, but I know a decent bit about it, or at least I remember a decent bit about it. So I'll save it regardless, because I could just look into it and remember. That's number 9. That would be like a what if Shane died in season 1, except different. So it'd be kind of a repeat. Shane dying in season 1 thing that I'm doing is just ripping off the comics. What if the Soviet Union? How would that? We don't even know how The Walking Dead started in the first place. We still don't have answers. All we know is that has something to do with France. What do you mean found CRM joining in the ones who live? You mean he joins instead of Rick? Him blowing up the bridge instead of Rick's already saved, so you kind of already got that down. Stick to Scream and Dragon Ball, that's fine. It's okay. I was just saying to everybody, let's spice up the variety. Travel too far to the past. I believe I have that saved. Either that or I erased it because I couldn't find a compelling story. Or it would be a repeat to somebody else's. Then him blowing up the bridge is the best way you're going to get that tongueless. Best way to make the story good. What if Carol attacked Carl for saying Sophia wasn't a Harry? No, Carol at that point was still too soft. She never hit any kid. She never hit Lizzie. She never hit Mika. She never hit Sophia. She never hit Sam. And didn't hit Carl. So for her to just do it out of the blue is kind of demeaning and degrading to her character. She may have grown to be a freaking awesome person in The Walking Dead, but she never laid her hands on a kid. Carol may have grown to be a warrior, but she wasn't a monster. Zomsu becoming Gohan Black is not going to be its own themed story, but I do have it happening for What If... I think it's either What If Vegeta became immortal or What If Vegeta became the first Super Saiyan. Whether or not there will be more stories including Gohan Black, I have no idea yet. But I can at least tell you that it will happen. No, he wouldn't kill Michonne over a freaking protein bar. Why is everyone always on about the freaking protein bar? Who cares? It's just a snack. It was just a funny joke. If Rick became a cannibal after that, then there'd be no coming back. He wouldn't just randomly become a cannibal. There would have to be a reason, and if he did, then he would most likely cannibalize everyone there too. It would defeat his entire character. Well, if he did that, then Rick would most likely kill him, and then they'd probably never get into Alexandria. With Goku and Gohan fused instead of Goku and Vegeta. I don't have that saved, and other people have done that simply because it would be a repeat, but I can tell you what would happen. Gohan would ultimately, he would be the better fusion, especially with Mystic Gohan, than Vegito. It would ultimately be a better fusion, and I don't think that Gohan's mind, that they would still save the fat version of Boo. They might. The best I could tell you is that maybe Gohan continues training. Vegeta might remain dead, maybe, and the story wouldn't differ too much, except maybe a few characters being that teensy little bit stronger. Eugene's leg? There wouldn't be a real reason to. Bob went outside because he was bit. And I have Tyrese and Sasha going outside just to replace it in some form of way. And, like, they're the ones that get bit. But for Eugene, not really a reason. Merle being in fear is already saved. I have him joining Virginia's group, Padre, and both of Troy's groups, his families, and then the second group that he had in the End of Fear. So we got 9 ideas, and we got about 15 minutes left. Something like that. 20 minutes, what the frick ever. Honestly, guys, if we don't see Morgan in the finale of The Ones Who Live, I'm really going to be mad. Like, don't you all agree? Like, we need to see Morgan in this freaking finale. And I know I'm talking about The Ones Who Live before tomorrow. But yeah. Lizzie, Mika, and... Wait. Lizzie, Mika. Charlie and Dakota swapped. I already have Charlie. Wait. I already have Charlie and Ennis being in the Atlanta camp, and I believe maybe Dakota and Virginia. But that would almost be a repeat and be very convoluted to make. What if after Goku Black travels into the past this first time, it's a big hole in time, and they all get sucked into the MCU? No, if Beale died, he wouldn't be the most wasted. Pope died, and he barely did anything too. We have to see Morgan. Ripped hole, opened hole to MCU. I didn't even notice that, to be completely honest with you. MCU is like the only possibility I have of Goku Black opening a hole somewhere and making it interesting. And it would likely have to be like an endgame plot or something. I don't know who Frank Darabont is. I didn't get into the Twilight Zone too much, only a few episodes. So, yeah. $912 subs. Guys, let's try and get us let's get 1K subs. Let's Let's build her up. If he never got fired, I can't tell you how the story would go. I can't read the minds of directors or showrunners or anything, so I can't tell you how it would go. Yeah. Rick meeting the Terminus people early is already saved. We got 10 ideas, and I'm going to end it at an hour 10, and then we're just going to have general discussion for the last few minutes. That'd be really weird. That's very that's very out there. What if Thorn was in Atlanta camp? Well, you'd need someone to replace Thorn. Who would replace Thorn? What if Rick bit Negan's throat out instead of that would be like what if Rick actually killed Negan, which I've already done on the channel before. You just have to look for it, and it would just be in a different way. Yeah, let's definitely try to get to 1K because we're so close to getting to 1K, man. We are so close to getting to 1K. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna be big whenever I do reach 1K for everybody, not just me. I got I got a community post plan and likely a video, but do not know. People have asked me to change genders around for other characters, not just Negan, and I can't figure out a scenario where I could make a story that would be good like that. I feel just keeping their genders should be the same, but changing like what weapon they have or like what kind of job they had or something like that is better. Beta surviving is already saved, and I already have a bunch of huge beta stories lined up, and the Merle and beta spinoff for What If Daryl Died Instead of Merle, which is the next story after What If Dale Survived ending on this coming Wednesday. So you'll see that happen. You know what? I did not think of adding anyone with Father Gabriel, but I think that Sophia is going to be like the only exception. What if Father Gabriel saved Sophia? That would really redeem Father Gabriel. I'm not going to lie. Like, he finally redeemed himself in the end when he was letting all those people in at the Commonwealth. They finally put that nod to his character. And heck, he's in the frickin' ones who live in flashbacks and in real time. That doesn't go to show the way that Father Gabriel changed. I don't know what does. Definitely did way better by his character than the comics did. Ignore that. So that's 11 ideas. And we got 6 minutes. We are good. We are peaches and cream and bologna sandwiches. And that ball crap. Ball crap. So for all the stories that I'm going to be doing, the ones that I teased on that list and everything, like the schedule and everything, what story are you guys most excited for? I mean, King Devin said, what if Casey Becker survived, and Jigsaw and The Walking Dead are his 2 faves out of that. But as for the Merle one, those 2 and the other ones that are saved there, what are you guys looking most forward to regarding that little batch of what ifs? Gareth and them couldn't know about Rick and their tricks, so that couldn't really happen that way. They're not mind readers. You need a reason for Rick to join the frickin' Pharaohs. The Grimace Shake one is hype. Oh my god. Oh my god. Grimace Shake. I'm sorry, that one's just like decently funny in my opinion. Broheim. Yeah. Definitely. Who's all still with us? I mean, I get it, we're almost done, but like, god dang. What if Mika faked her death? I don't understand how Lizzie could literally kill her and she somehow fake her death. Still here, I'm busy. That's okay. We're all good. I was just wondering who the frick was still with us. She played dead after getting stabbed. Wow, that's an interesting one. Facts, yo. Facts. What the frick? I will never understand how randomly, whenever I'm writing and everything, every time after a Q&A, I'll just randomly end up with freaking pen marks on my freaking hand and everything, and just in random places where the pen didn't even touch my part of my hand. It's like a ghost was somehow magically controlling my hand and like doing those marks. Finding Sophia alive at the school, that'd be very weird, and like specifically to find him at that specific school. And they would just go to Fort Benning after that. What? Okay. We are about wrapping up the Q&A here. I don't know what they do after that. And I don't think Dr. Jenner knew either. Either that or he didn't care enough to tell them, which is why he tried trapping them in there and saving them, quote unquote. Can't expect him to have remembered or even cared to tell them or even knew. All right. So for the last few minutes, we're going to have just general discussion, and the Q&A is officially over. We got 11 ideas for this stream, and now we're just going to spend the rest of the time just having general chat and talking about tomorrow and random bull crap, just because. So who wants to talk about Lori? Who hates her? Raise your hand. We're going to spam Lori sucks in the frickin' chat. Blah, blah, blah. Wait. Huh. Yep. Lori is so comparable to Chi Chi from Dragon Ball. It's not even funny. Like, they are both so comparable. They both teach their kid freaking studies in a time of crisis. They both only care about their opinions regardless of others. Except Chi Chi, whenever Goku died, she didn't go sleep with another guy. She named her and addressed Goten after Goku. So Chi-Chi is ultimately kind of better than Lori. Lori is actually more insufferable than Chi-Chi. Which led to a series of misunderstandings that could easily have been avoided if Lori, the freaking know-it-all, learned how others perceived her. Rick, Carl, and Shane, they all did not deserve to be put through the crap that Lori put her through. Like, put them all through. But because Rick is suddenly out of the picture, oh, screw you, I'm going to sleep with you, and then whenever Rick comes back, I'm just going to like you, and then like you, and then like you, and then fight, and then one of you dies, and it's like, oh, you're the bad guy. Logic? I'm sorry. But that's one of the situations where the crime doesn't fit the punishment. Like, Lori should have gotten ultimately a worse death than what she got. Should be lucky that I even did a Lori survived or make her a character in any of my what ifs now. Because for the longest time, I put her off because I didn't know a way to make her character good and actually make her likable to a standard that would be like good to everybody else. Yeah, Gregory was like a playing both sides kind of guy, and he was very comparable in kind of ways to Lori, but much different, and he was definitely way funnier. Anyway, yeah, definitely Lori is one of the most insufferable characters in all of fiction. She should have gotten a way worse death than she did. And I think all of us can testify to that. Uh, but we're gonna end it here. It's about time to end it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for the 11 ideas on the stream. I will see you guys tomorrow for The Ones Who Live, the finale, and next Saturday for the next Q&A. After that, no more Sunday Ones Who Live streams, so that's going to be a little bit different, going back to the usual. And I'll see you guys Monday and Wednesday for the finale of Dale's story, Friday for the start of the Merle and Daryl story. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I am out of here. Hope you guys had a decent time on the Q&A today. Oh, one more thing before I go. Thank God Goat or Lemon or whatever the frick you want to call him did not show up. So that's cool. Finally gave